Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Geek Out here in Old Town Burleson. As always, I'm your favorite bearded hero, Charles, aka Mr. Not So Fantastic. And this is my sidekick, as always, the weird thing, Chandler.
Indeed. Best
I-
character.
Best character.
So great.
So great. Um, he's Jim Grimm, not
Jim Grimm.
and as you can tell by that intro, after we go through the quick little DC comics for tomorrow, we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Which I'm a little sad we're talking about the Fantastic Four tonight because we've only been doing this for a little over a month. And I know that he's super excited to do Fantastic Four. So once we've done Fantastic Four, then we're not doing Fantastic Four again. And he has nothing to look forward to except for Mr. Miracle.
I do have that. Yeah.
Which we're not going to do.
We will do it eventually. Yeah. I'll do a deep dive. Get Tom King in here.
We're not getting Tom King.
We probably won't get Tom King. No.
It would be really cool if we did.
That'd be awesome, actually. Yeah, he's
Tom
great.
King. If you're not watching, which you're not watching, come on the show. Tell us all about Miracle Man and
Sheriff Babylon, Batman.
All your good stuffs. We like you. You're not watching, so it doesn't matter what we say about
I think you're great, man.
We think you're pretty great. You're one of my top 5s.
Yeah.
You're probably one of his top 3s.
Yeah, so, for sure.
We read everything you do.
Much, yeah. Human Target's great.
I believe Human Target's great. I haven't read Human Target yet.
Really good.
But
they just had a Batman issue.
Sweet.
It's great.
So
Batman wasn't in it either.
As promised in the description that no one reads, we will also be telling you about Black Friday deals, which I will be sprinkling them throughout the entire show and then recapping them at the end. So if you want to know all of them, you have to stay.
It's messed up.
It is.
It is. What are you going to do?
So the first announcement of Black Friday sales is we will be having Black Friday sales.
Yes.
Not only will we be having Black Friday sales, but unlike the other psycho retailers that make you get up at 4 in the morning or earlier and get in lines, our Black Friday deals start at the time that we normally open on Fridays, which is noon. So we can all, if you want to be a psycho, I spent many, many years being a Black Friday psycho. So if you want to do that, have fun. Do that. You'll enjoy it. Hi, Lacey. It's nice seeing you. It was fun meeting Lacey. We met at Cowtown.
Oh, I got you.
She is a cosplayer from Oklahoma.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so we will be having Black Friday sales. They will start on Friday at noon when we open, and they will conclude on Sunday when we close. But we're also doing Cyber Monday, even though we have an eBay that we use, but yes, but we're also going to do a Cyber Monday. So technically the Black Friday deals don't end until the end of the day on Monday.
Yeah.
So, very cool stuff. They might change a little bit throughout the weekend, but through the later ones, I think we'll change them I think we have them changing on Monday. But
yes, I'm pretty sure
we have really cool sales throughout the entire weekend, starting at noon on Friday. And that's the only information you're getting right now. You'll have to deal with what's new from DC before I give you another piece of information.
A lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff, actually. It's actually a pretty good week.
It actually is a pretty solid week for DC. So first, we've got, this is a really cool cover. Kal-El Returns, Action Comics 1049, and you've got all the super peoples, including Crypto.
Everybody loves Crypto.
They're at the Fortress of Solitude on the eve of battle. It's very cool.
Steel as well.
Yep.
Steel.
Yeah, we've got Soups, John, Kara, Steel.
I think that's Steel's daughter, actually.
Yes, that's Steel's daughter. And Crypto. So all the super people. Well, not all the super
best
people.
The best ones.
Lots of them. This is a great vintage 90s cover because we're having fun with the vintage 90s cover. You got Mullet Soups with a pink Action Comics logo and Crypto chilling there with him too. Man, I will tell you, if you don't blow dry a mullet like that, it will not look good. It will be all over the place. Trust me, from a person who lived through this era and had Superman hair whenever he thought it was cool.
It's terrible hair.
If you don't style it properly, you're going to look like a psycho.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next, so this is not a new book, but it is a new cover. This week, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is always local, or is normally local comic shop day. And we have a Batman and Joker Deadly Duo sketch variant local comic shop day.
It looks really good.
It is. Yeah. It is a really good. It is one of those good sketch variants with some very cool metallic foiling in all the lettering in the local comic shop. So that one's pretty cool.
Not bad.
Well, so we're 2 books down. We only have 1 Bat book. But guess what? Book number 3,
Batman book.
Batman book. Batman Scooby-Doo Mystery.
Yeah, these are actually pretty cool.
They are actually really fun. They're enjoyable. They're entertaining. They're good for all ages. They're great.
They're good stuff. Also, $2.99.
$2.99. Got that.
Look at that.
Holding the line at $2.99.
Do you remember that? I do remember that. Oh, I missed that.
I do.
That lasted for like what, a year maybe?
If even that long.
Like Rebirth.
So,
remember Rebirth?
Yeah,
it was all $2.99 again.
Well, so
yeah,
they did in the around 2010.
Yeah.
Marvel went up to $3.99 for most of their books.
Yeah.
So DC was like, we're not gonna do that, and they had this whole campaign and like literally printed on a lot of books, and then like all of the flyers and all the posters were all holding the line at $2.99.
Yeah.
And then they stopped holding that line very quickly.
Look at them now. All their variant covers are $1 more. Hold
that line at $4.99 for another Batman book, Detective Comics number lots. Number
1066.
1066.
Yeah, that's a very good book.
Yeah, it is really solid.
Great book. Ron V is a great writer.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's like you like horror, you like Batman, just read Detective Comics because that's what they're doing.
That's
good.
Yep.
It's really good.
Not a Bat book.
Not really.
DC versus Vampires, number 11, with a very nice Harley Quinn cover.
It's a good cover.
That is a really sharp cover.
It's also DC horror.
It is DC horror. DC has been doing a pretty good job with the horror.
They have a bit. Yeah.
Marvel gets a little bit hokey with their horrors.
Yeah, they'll do whatever
they try, but I don't think
they're better when they're goofy. Like
they are.
Marvel Zombies 1, it's okay. It's a fine book. Marvel Zombies 3 though is so stupid and it's great
because it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's not a good book.
Oh, it's a good book.
It's just stupid.
It's definitely a good book.
It's good because it's bad.
I don't know. There's a bit you see, Machine Man.
Mm-hmm.
You see like the zombie Stilt Man, and he looks at him and goes, "Oh, look at you. We could be brothers." And the Stilt Man goes, "Really?" And he goes, "No, you disgust me." And he cuts him down the middle. So like, that's a good book. It's got some good writing. Yeah.
We got Deathstroke Inc. number 15 at year 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 6.
I think that's the last issue, actually.
I think so too.
Yeah, it got canceled. It sucks.
Dark Crisis is still going. I thought it ended.
They got one more issue.
Oh yeah, they got one more issue
thing. Yeah.
The Dark Army one shot. Damian Wayne, aka the Worst Robin.
Yes, the Worst Robin
versus the Darkness,
including.
That's a pretty cool cover though.
That's actually a good cover.
I'm not mad at that cover.
That's Riley Russell now.
Here's another cover, and that's a crappy cover.
Which one?
I don't like that cover.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's not bad. It's just
this cover is actually pretty good.
This cover's pretty sharp.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty sharp cover right there.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
Who's that?
I have no idea. It's a new character.
Okay, cool. Well,
yeah.
There you go. If you want to know who
it's like a new Robin or something.
Pick it up. New Red Robin.
I guess.
I don't know. Who cares?
Good on it. There's so many people.
Dark Crisis has been okay.
Been good for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the best of Crisis, but it's not the worst of Crisis. That's Infinite Crisis.
That is Infinite Crisis.
That one sucks.
Harley Quinn 24.
Yeah, it's like solid book.
Solid book. Been going solid.
Stephanie Phillips, writer of Grimm.
Yep.
She's
Stephanie
great.
Phillips is great, and Grimm is probably one of the best books this imprint. Mm-hmm. Speaking of,
not as good as this book though.
Tom King, the guy that we gave a little bit of an intro to. Hey, we love you.
Yeah.
Target.
It's great. It's one of DC's best books.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah. It's the Batman issue. Every issue has been dealing with another Justice League International member, and this one's the Batman one.
I really like that 1960s.
Oh yeah, that kind of I Dream a Genie-esque kind of art. Yeah, it looks like that on the inside too, actually. Yeah, that's great. It's great. You gotta read it. It's good.
So here's a Bat book, but not Batman. Punchline at number 2.
Yeah, Punchline. She's great. Breakout character.
She's not. She's acceptable.
People like her,
Do they? I don't understand.
We saw a cosplayer of her.
We did, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's okay.
People,
I mean,
so I
she's
guess
not the worst character.
no. That's Damian Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Robins,
Yeah.
Tim Drake.
Tim
Robin.
Drake, one of the better ones.
One of the better Robins, but
Yeah,
not
he's
the
great.
best Robin.
That cover is good.
That cover
Riley
is good.
Rossmo, I love his art.
Yep.
But the other cover
Yeah.
is Riley Rossmo's got this weird style. He's amazing. This other cover though is
excellent.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's really good.
It's there's nothing special. It
just looks good.
Just looks good and is well done and nice balancing and coloring and just art.
You know who that is? It's Dan Mora.
That is Dan Mora.
Because he's the best. No one's beating Dan Mora right now.
Got that Dan Mora signature.
Uh-huh.
Did he change the way he doesn't normally bubble his name like that, does he?
No, not normally. Yeah.
Weird. Anyway.
He's probably like, it's so good. I gotta put my name real big right here.
Speaking of good books written by people that we absolutely love. I don't love this person because they're a comic book writer, but they're not doing a bad job at it.
Indeed. Yeah.
Is
old Bruce.
Old Bruce Campbell's DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead.
Not enough Sergeant Rock out there
Written
anymore.
by Ash Williams himself.
Love
Kill him again.
Yeah.
Sergeant Rock is great.
Sergeant Rock's amazing. You know, Quentin Tarantino has said recently he wants to make a Sergeant Rock movie.
I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I can't even imagine what that'd be like. He also said he wants to make Sergeant Fury and Italian Commandos.
That would be really cool.
I'd love that.
I would love that too.
Yeah.
So that's all your comics for DC. So we've got a couple of trades. You got Superman and the Authority.
Yes, it was the last book Morrison did before they left DC. Kind of sucks that they left DC, but you know, it's a good book. It's really, really good.
Book.
Yeah.
This has been available in hardback. This is the first time it's available in paperback.
Yes.
John Ridley's The Other History of the DC Universe.
Yes.
It is all of the alternate characters.
Mm-hmm. It's a bigger focus on the people of color in DC.
Yes.
You know, where DC is very white. Oh, it's so white. But they he did really, yeah, he wanted to focus on
that one's actually really good. It is Prestige
really
XL. It is a Prestige XL book.
Yeah, it's bigger than normal.
Which I'm not a super big fan of Prestige XL, but you know what? It's still very awesome.
Looks great.
I'll accept it for it throwing off the feng shui of my bookcase.
That's fair.
And last but not least, it's a Batman book, and it is not just a book, but it is 5 books. It is the box set.
Technically, it's like
Batman Black and White.
Yes.
Which Batman Black and White has been really cool. They've done 5 different series, which all 5 are in here. Multiple of them won Eisner Awards.
Yes.
It is an excellent collection, and it is $105 for 5 trades.
It's really not bad.
It's really not bad, and being that these are some of the best Batman stories that have been told in the last decade.
Pretty much. There's a story in there by none other than Bruce Timm, the creator of the animated series called One of a Kind, and it's solely a Two-Face story. Batman's in 2 panels in the entire story, and it is by far like one of the absolute top 3 Batman stories you could ever read. It's so phenomenal. But
so if you want good Bat stories that are complete and self-contained, Batman Black and White, the box set gets you all of them, which 1, 2, and I think 3 haven't even been in print in several years.
No,
getting it. I know 1 and 2 have been almost impossible to get.
Yeah,
a while.
The 90s one in particular was you just couldn't get it at all. I think it was only around volume 3 that they were like, oh, Batman Black and White's popular. And people like it.
People like it. So let's make sure we print it.
Exactly.
So that's all the books for this week.
That is the books.
So I promised you another piece of Black Friday deal. Why is my hat not doing what it's supposed to do? Anyway, so the next piece of Black Friday information is all statues in our big shiny light up statue case over there that 25% off. Everything in that case,
not bad.
25% off.
Quarter off.
Not a bad deal. Even if you want that super pricey Bakugo statue that's like $500.
Jeez, yeah.
Whatever, 25% off of $536, I think it is. That's 25%.
It's money.
It's money.
It's money.
It's money off.
Around $130 off.
Yeah. Something like that. So
not bad.
Not bad at all.
Pretty good, actually.
So before we start talking about Fantastic Four, as most of y'all know, we spent about a week up in Dallas for the BGG Con, which is Board Game Geek Con. And this really cool booth was right next to us. And I went back and watched my BGG Con video, and my audio was all jacked up, which is why we now have lapel mics.
Fancy.
I hope our audio's better this time. Please give me feedback and tell me if the audio's better. If it's not better, then
I don't know if you can hear this.
Do we sound better? No. Anyway, so we had this really cool table or booth right next to us called Binho Games. And you know, with the World Cup just started, and I personally I'm a hockey person and a rugby person. I don't care about soccer.
Also, FIFA's very corrupt. They're like the mob.
They are.
It's kind of terrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
But it is the most popular sport in the world, regardless of what I think about it. However, this is a super cool. Now, this is a special Liverpool edition, which they were so kind to hook me up with the Liverpool. Yes, I got it for one reason. I'm an Irish kid, and Irish people built boats in Liverpool. I don't care that it's a Liverpool football club. I care that some of the most famous boats ever built were built in Liverpool. So,
what about saying Liverpool all funny like the Beatles? Liverpool. I love it.
But so this is the Liverpool edition of Binho's Binho board, which is cool. Now, what I like about this is it's so easy to play, so easy to set up, and so easy to I literally we are going to be getting some of these in. We're getting the USA edition, we're getting a green one and a black one. So
nice. Not bad.
Hopefully we get them before Black Friday, but if we don't, we'll have them for the holidays. But so it's super easy. Like the box opens and there's a board in there.
Oh, it's already built?
Now mine's already built, but
that's awesome.
It's super easy. Like the box fits so that it can already be built and still sit in the box.
You got this, Charles.
But
it's kind of cool.
It is super cool. It's lots of fun. And because of the simplicity of playing it, so
it's like finger football.
Yes. So as you see, so it has these elastic sides on it and these little pins. And I'm going to angle our camera down.
Look at that. Yeah, little nets.
Got little nets. So it's simple.
Sounds like actual. Oh
my God. It's like
AstroTurf in here.
And
does it also burn the shit out of your skin like real AstroTurf?
I suppose if you play wrong.
If you play,
I'll let you kick off.
Want to kick off? Get fucked.
And it's just that simple. That was pretty impressive.
Thanks,
first
man.
shot, man. That's so it's
what
first
can I
to seven.
Say?
You scored on me, so I get a shot. I'm at least going to try to get some redemption.
Yeah.
And it's super easy. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Oh, this is actually kind of awesome.
It is. Like literally. Oh, snap.
Good try.
Oh, play downtown.
Not bad, not bad. This is cool.
So
I like
it's super easy to play. It's super fun.
No, that sucks.
And so literally, whenever you get it, it comes with all the pegs in a bag, and the net's broken down in a bag. Looks kind of like this, with a little instruction booklet if you don't know how to flick a marble. And it's like a low density marble, so it doesn't really hurt.
Real quick tutorial on how to flick a marble. Get hand like so, bring it down and just kind of give it a little whoop. I thought you were about to score. I did too.
But so if you do something like double tap or break a few of the rules, then you get a yellow card. And if you do something dumb again, you get a red card. And if you get a red card, you have to take a post off.
Oh, that's
and you get a penalty kick.
That's kind of cool.
So you can use the edges. It's so simple. It's
a ball, isn't it?
Yes, I know. It's one of those. It's how you keep the spare balls on your
touche, friend. Oh no. This game's cool.
It is, man. I told you.
Hurt my fingernail.
Nice. Oh, nice.
2-2 tied.
And since we have other things to talk about, we could.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk about
what's funny is the game's so simple. If you get one of these, you can play it literally at you just bust this thing out. And since it's so small, it's not even that big. It's about It's about 2 feet by about a foot.
Yeah.
So you can literally break this out, put it on the table, set up like once you put it together the first time, you never have to break it down because the box it fits the whole thing already pre-set up as you saw.
True.
And it doesn't matter if you're 4 or 80, you can play this game because it's just that simple and it's super fun and you can like
It's pretty fun.
it's great.
Yeah.
So as the weeks go by, since we picked up a whole bunch of new little stuff from the BGG Con, we'll show off a few of those cool things that we got there on the show. And
Oh no,
bro, that's a straight up red card.
that's a red card.
And you, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's a red card, but you gotta go
around that.
Yeah, you gotta go find my marble, bro.
Yep. It
just
means I'm a way better player than you.
That you were able to kick it way out of bounds.
Hells yeah.
I don't know if that makes you a better player or just a gump.
My kicks are so powerful.
I can call you a gump because I'm from Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because you live with all the other gumps.
Yes, exactly. That's why I can call you that.
Fair enough.
Doesn't mean you can use it though. I didn't give you permission. Just because you know
I didn't give you permission.
Just because you know a gump doesn't mean that you can
give me permission from the English board.
But anyway, Benho boards, sports flicking game.
It's good stuff. It is actually pretty fun.
It is super fun, super easy. Like I said, we should have these in store by end of this week, if not next week.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff. All right, we'll bring this back up here.
We're back.
Now, since you tolerated that, should I give them another Black Friday preview?
Hey, a little taste.
A little taste.
A little skosh.
A little skosh.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that there was going to be a sale on TCGs?
Oh.
There will be a sale on TCGs. Sealed product and singles.
Yes. Singles. Delicious Magic cards.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon.
No,
and
they're pretty
Vanguard.
good. They're pretty good too.
But I won't tell you what that deal is unless you listen to the notes.
Notes? Took notes on the Fantastic Four.
Like I said, it's just to keep us on pace. So
I know I got the notes.
He does.
I got all the notes.
So Fantastic Four was created. They first appeared when?
They first appeared in Fantastic Four #1 in November 1961, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby because Marvel was in the dumps. They were about to fail big time. They're about to go broke. So apparently, as the story goes, Stan went to Jack Kirby and he was like, "Hey man," apparently he was in tears. He was crying. He was like, "Hey man, this is all gonna fail. I'm the editor. Like I can't. Like all our books suck. This is all gonna be bad." And Jack apparently, as the story goes, just went, "Don't worry, Stan, I got this." And a few months later, Fantastic Four #1 came out, and it was very much a kind of a mishmash of superhero stuff, but also the monster comics that were big at the time. You know, so that's why the cover of #1 has them fighting a big old monster.
Fly monster.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, they wanted to sell it as like a kind of monster sci-fi comic, but then it would progress into kind of a superhero, but also a family book, you know? And
so Stan wanted characters that he could relate to. Now, depending upon whether you subscribe to the Stan Lee side of the story or the Jack Kirby side of the story,
that side's better.
It varies a little bit.
Yeah.
But allegedly, Stan wanted characters he could relate to. So he created the narrative and Kirby created the imagery.
Totally.
I mean, it's feasible.
It's feasible. It's feasible until you see Jack's original pages and the dialogues written in the margins that Stan copied.
But so yeah, it's fine. It depends on which side you're on. Like both are great. I call them both legends, and I just pretend like there's no animosity between the two, but there totally was, and they both died pretty much hating each other.
Pretty well. The last thing apparently that Jack Kirby said to Stan was it was like in the 90s. They saw each other at a comic convention, and like Jack walked across the convention floor, walked up to Stan, and just went, "Stan, we have nothing to reproach ourselves about." And he walked away without a response. And apparently Stan was like, "What the hell just happened?" But yeah. So he didn't hate him in the end.
No, he really didn't.
He forgave him.
Yeah, it was. it was literally just a who did what, and by the time they were old and gray and probably just mishmashed both stories and a little bit of truth on both sides.
Exactly.
But
They're both dead now.
they
so there's
understandably enough, and they were both great, and
yeah.
they gave us some of the greatest characters of all time.
Oh, the absolute.
Yeah, they created your favorite characters.
Yeah.
Stanley didn't create my favorite character, but he did give him his design, and
He also invented the shield throw.
and he invented the round shield instead of the regular
He did.
shield. So
No, Joe Simon was the writer
yes.
for Jack Kirby during that time. Yeah.
So so Stan Lee, Jack Kirby created
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And the Fantastic Four was created using what would become known as the Marvel method.
Yes.
Where
very bizarre.
Where
Marvel method.
Stan Lee would, or the writer would write a detailed synopsis, and then he would pass it to the artist that would draw the panels and all of the artwork, and he would then pass it back to the writer, and the writer would fill in the dialogue and the captions.
Very
so
bizarre way to make books.
It is kind of a weird way to do it, but you know what? It worked for
apparently
a very long time.
It did, yeah. And apparently the way it started was like that there wasn't even the synopsis first. That Stan just went, we want an issue about the Fantastic Four and they fight a monster. And Jack went, okay, Stan, chill out. That's you got a lot of energy going on. And he'd draw the issue and then just hand it to him. So like when it started, they didn't even synopsis it first. It's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just like draw what you feel, and we'll fill in the dialogue later.
Yeah, we'll just make it up as we go. Which is probably why those books are so goofy back in the day and weird.
So who's in the Fantastic Four? Primary Fantastic Four.
We got Reed Richards. He's a knob. It's Mr. Fantastic. He loves science, loves his wife, never shows it because he's a knob. We got Sue Storm, his wife, Susan Richards. She's great. She's kind of the mom of the family. She takes care of everybody. She's mega smart. Absolute best person. Deserves a better husband. Johnny Storm, her brother, Human Torch, catches on fire. Hothead, kind of a douchebag. Great guy.
Human Torch number 2.
Human Torch number 2, technically. The first one was a robot from the 40s named Jim. He's also great. Fourth one, most important, best one, Benjamin Grimm. Little Jewish guy from the Bronx. Absolute brawler. Got turned into a rock monster. Feels all sad. Cries a little bit. Becomes a thing. Because Susan called him a thing, which is really rude and not cool. Also, have you ever seen that old panel? Or that's the I will call myself what Sue called me, the thing. And then the next one goes, and I'm Mr. Fantastic. Read the room, dude.
What kind of audacity do you have to name yourself Mr. Fantastic?
After your best friend Lily just said, I'm a monster.
I'm fantastic.
What a dick.
Yeah, no, Reed Richards is a complete dickhole.
I'm a big fan, though. I love him.
But he is the third most intelligent person in the Marvel Universe.
It's debatable. Technically, he's supposed to be the number one. But because he is the number one, comic writers like to do that. It's like how Superman's the strongest. So let's make 10 other people who are stronger than him. You know what I mean? So they try to usurp it all the time. Technically, Moon Girl
is the smartest person in the Marvel Universe.
Valeria. His Reed's, she's what, like 7 now? His daughter's technically smarter than him, even though she's like 7.
So what a lot of people don't realize is that everything in the Marvel Universe revolves around the first family of comics.
It really does. Yeah.
Every 16-ish years, Marvel reboots.
Yeah.
Soft reboot.
They're a lot softer. Like DC's like hard reboot.
Yeah.
Crisis, we're gonna blow everything up. We're gonna reset everything. And Marvel's like, we'll reset it within the confines of the story.
Yeah.
So they're chiller about it.
Not that they haven't blown everything up before.
No, they Spider-Man,
But they they Secret Wars.
They Secret Wars. They did One Bad Days.
Yeah.
Or no, not One Bad Day. One More Day.
One More Day.
The one everyone hates.
Yeah. So I mean, there have been times, but so everything revolves around a 16-year-ish arc of Fantastic Four where we reset things. The easiest character to make this reference to is probably the Punisher.
his is easy
because
to track.
you
You know what I
he's
mean?
his is the easiest to track because
yeah.
every time there's a conflict and they give him just enough to be a grizzled war veteran.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right now he's an Afghan war veteran, where originally he was
Yes.
Vietnam, and
Yeah,
then he
originally
was
Vietnam,
Kuwait,
and-
and then
There was a brief time when he was a Desert Storm guy,
yeah.
and everyone was like, I don't think the Punisher would go to war for 3 days and then come back like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of weird.
Yeah. But yeah, so the easiest one to set a timeline on would be the Punisher.
Yeah.
Except for in Max, where he was just an old man.
That runs
that
so,
was that.
he's 60 years old
Yeah.
and he's shotgunning people in the face. That book's awesome.
But I use the Punisher reference because it's the easiest thing to see.
It is.
The 16-year rotation that is set based around the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, comics first family.
Yes. World's greatest comic magazine. They used to print that on the front of the book.
From issue 3 to issue 200. It was on the front.
Yeah. Even they bring it back every now and then.
Yeah, it's every once in a while popped up on it.
Greatest comic magazine.
So in the 1960s, 61, whenever it came out, it was
61.
a very unexpected success. Because, like you said, Marvel was failing. Stan was like, I'm going to go get a real person job. Peace out. And then they sold a crap ton of copies. Sold out of Fantastic Four #1. And Stan was like, okay, maybe we got something here.
Yeah.
So he kept doing it.
He did.
In issue 3, like we said, they started calling it the world's greatest comic magazine.
Yes, they did.
Issue number 4, the antagonist from the blockbuster movie Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Namor
the Submariner.
Namor, the
little green ITYTs.
Was reintroduced because we hadn't seen him since the 40s.
He's technically Marvel's second ever character.
Yes.
From the 40s. Yeah. He fought the original Human Torch.
Yep.
He's like sort of a hero back then, sort of not.
Yeah. Well,
he's always been on that line.
He was part of the Invaders. The Invaders, of course, were Captain America, Namor, and
Human
Human Torch.
Yeah.
And they went and fought Nazis and
They
Japanese.
did.
And
Namor probably ripped out their spines and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a not nice person.
But
yeah, he became very integral to Fantastic Four after that. He really, really wants to bang Susan Richards, so much.
Spends most of his time trying to steal her away from Reed, which
he does in front of Reed too.
Yeah,
it's pretty blatant.
He would give her 70% of the fucking world.
That's true. And as Kieran Gillen, Kieran Gillen, wrote Wicked and the Divine. He one time said, "Come on, Reed, just know the sex has got to be way better over there with Namor." He's probably not wrong.
Well, Reed's a very selfish person.
He is selfish.
I imagine that just kind of
Namor
transpires.
Look at that man. He's a king.
He's a king.
He's killing it.
And yeah.
He only wears
he can
underwear.
Hold his breath for a really long time.
Yeah. He's super jacked.
He is.
A man who only wears tidy whities constantly and has wings on his feet and no one ever makes fun of him. Yeah, you should probably
you can tell the difference between. So there's always comparable characters, DC to Marvel.
Oh, sure.
Or almost always.
Yeah.
But so Aquaman has been a joke since the 60s.
Yeah.
And Namor has never been a joke.
Never ever been a joke.
Yeah.
Because people respect Namor.
Yeah. So
he's kind of scary.
He is a little scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, issue 5. What did issue 5 do?
Issue 5 brought about the greatest villain in all of comics, Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom. The greatest. Also, that issue is magnificent. It is about Dr. Doom meeting the Fantastic Four and going, "Hey, travel back in time for me and get Blackbeard's treasure," because he's got Merlin stones. And they go back in time and they get lost back then. And then Ben Grimm the Thing ends up just becoming Blackbeard and a pirate, and he's the one with the treasure. But that is canon. That in the Marvel universe, Ben Grimm is Blackbeard. And no one questions that he's made of rocks, ever. They just go with it. And it's fantastic. It's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
It's great.
Black Panther was also introduced.
Yes, in issue 20s. We got a facsimile.
Yeah.
We got a facsimile this week with the Black Panther issue of Fantastic Four. It's great. Classic Jack Kirby artwork, which means everyone's going like this in the page.
Going like what?
Like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you remember the Captain America Mad Bomb jump? You know what I mean? See, look at that. Everyone's doing to this. It's great. I love it. What issue is that? 20?
That is 52.
Oh, 52. That's way later than I thought.
Introducing the sensational Black Panther.
Yes. Also, Jack Kirby would go on to write, was it Jungle Action?
Yes.
Which was like primarily a Black Panther book.
Yep.
And man, those Jungle Action books, top tier.
Yeah,
They
are really
good.
solid.
Yeah.
So introduce more characters than we can list here.
God, Inhumans.
Yep.
That was a big one.
Galactus,
Silver Surfer,
Ronan, Annihilus.
Oh, I love Annihilus. He's like a weird monster man from another dimension, but he's also a robot, sort of. He's not actually a robot, but he looks like a robot.
Yep.
Robot Dragon Man, sort of. Also, Dragon Man was introduced in these.
Yes.
He is actually a robot now that I think about it. A lot of good ones. Every important villain ever in Marvel probably introduced in there.
Yeah, every important villain in Marvel was either introduced by one of three characters.
Yeah.
And I lumped Fantastic Four as a character.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic Four,
Spider-Man. Spider-Man, or Captain America.
Yeah.
Everything's in those three books. Like, if they matter, one of those three books is where you got them.
Also, yeah, you can tell they really matter. Doctor Doom, the villain, everybody. Doctor Doom's popped up in Spider-Man, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, X-Men. He's just the worst, and everybody needs to take him down, but none of them can. I love him.
Actually, Doctor Doom is not the worst.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
He's the best. He just wants you to stay out of his land.
But also, he kind of wants to take your powers too.
Does, but that's literally just to protect his people.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
There's I always love Secret Wars 1985. Big deal. Most everybody knows it. You know, we got the Beyonder, and he took a bunch of Marvel heroes, and he took a bunch of Marvel villains, and he put them all on a planet and went, "Hey, go fight, because I want to watch it." And they all went, "Okay, cool, we're gonna fight." And the only one out of all them who had a different idea was Doctor Doom, and he looked over there and went, "That guy is powerful enough to steal us all from our home world and put us on another world and make us fight. I'm gonna take that guy's power." And he did. Can't hate on Doom. He's like the best villain ever.
Doom is a super villain by definition. Like, he is a baseline.
He is the greatest.
Like, I think the only villain that might challenge him. No, I was going to say Zod, but
he could probably take Zod.
Zod's a bit of a B. Zod's just a power hungry jerk that just cares about himself. Whereas Doctor Doom is a calculated, benevolent overlord. I mean, if you want to live in a dictatorship,
his people technically like him.
His people like him. Like,
they do. They love him.
It's a dictatorship, but it has a solid economy. They have like, whenever your dictator actually provides you everything.
Yeah,
I suppose
he's kind of a good dictator.
We do not endorse dictatorships here at Geek Out.
No, but I endorse Doctor Doom's dictatorship.
If it's run the way Doctor Doom does, then maybe it's okay. Maybe it's just all propaganda coming out of Latveria.
Well, it is propaganda.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like for sure propaganda.
I mean, everybody loves it.
I like him.
But like I said, it might be. Is it North Korea style propaganda? Do they really just suffer and he just gives us PR that says that they love him?
Well, I mean, the PR is there, but they don't suffer for the most part.
I mean, that would be
for the most part.
Fair. I mean,
there was a point when he imprisoned all mutants he had that he.
We've gone through that. I'm not endorsing this because it's Team Cap all the way, but
love Cap.
But I mean, fucking Tony tried to do that shit too.
Yeah, well, Tony's a really bad guy when it comes down to it.
He is. Tony is a bad person.
He's not a good guy.
That fights for the good side.
Sometimes.
Rarely. Anyway.
I could name you at least 5 times Iron Man's become a villain. And 3 of them were within the past 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Tony's kind of a dick.
He's kind of a piece of shit. I like Doom. Doom's a better person than him when you think about it.
Doom is easily a better person than Tony Stark. I would say Doom is easily a better person than Reed Richards.
I don't know how that was.
He's better. Dude, think about
Reed's got the right mindset. He's just not good at
Reed's a selfish
making it happen. He is selfish.
He's a selfish prick that really doesn't care. He just wants to advance his science, and he doesn't care who he has to step on. And the only person that he genuinely actually cares about, but he does a very bad job at showing it, is the rest of the Fantastic Four and his kids.
Exactly. Yeah, he does do a terrible job of showing it.
So
but Doom's
Reed kind of sucks. Doom's a better person.
Hell yeah, Doom's awesome.
Although we can all agree that the best person in Marvel is like the best human in Marvel is Steve.
It's Steve.
It's
Steve's
Steve.
really
It's always
good.
Steve.
Or
Yeah.
Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm's
Ben Grimm's
good,
pretty
too.
solid too. I think
Man, Ben
Steve.
Grimm's great.
Could you imagine if Steve and Ben teamed up?
Oh my
It would
god.
be the most wholesome
The
comic
best.
ever.
You know they just be with the Howard Commandos too, because that's just that's their
Oh, yeah.
vibe. You
That
know,
would be their
yeah. One
Anyway.
man can change the world.
So in the 1980s, John Byrne took over the writing the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four,
That's a good run.
and it was a
That's
very
a
good
really
run.
good run. Yeah. There's a really
he-
famous issue where back then he was known as Paste Pot Pete, but he's the Trapster. There's a whole issue that's only told from either video camera footage or from
CCTV.
his perspective.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
like it's him breaking into the Baxter building, but the only panels that you'll see are either from his perspective or from the video cameras watching him. It's just really good. It's just really,
Cool.
really good. He did a lot of kind of experimental stuff like that. He's the one who put She-Hulk in the Fantastic Four.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that Ben took a hiatus from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
He wanted to not be in the Fantastic.
He was crying about being a monster again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So She-Hulk came in. That was a John Byrne thing.
Yes.
He also made the Invisible Girl become the Invisible
He
Woman.
did, which is more important than you'd think.
She went from being just a mom housekeeper stereotype member of the family to an actual proactive badass that was a better leader than her husband.
She's the most powerful one out of all of them. Like that's a fact. You know who first said that? Dr. Doom. Yeah, he was right.
And why does Dr. Doom hate Reed so much?
Well, one,
He treats Sue like shit.
That is a big reason. That is a big reason. One, he wants Reed's wife. He also wants his kids, and he hates him from college. That's mostly it.
Yep.
They're very petty roommates.
Mostly because Reed got Sue. Like it's all about the girl.
It is. And also how he hates his college roommate. Just because, he probably played music too loud or left chip bags all over the room or something like that. Yeah.
Didn't do his laundry properly.
Yeah. And
Played music late at night.
We do laundry properly in Latveria.
What else? What else do bad roommates do?
Bad roommates.
Well, it's college, so he probably paid the bills were already tied into tuition.
This one definitely happened because bad roommates go after the girl you're interested in. And that happens.
It did.
Yeah.
Probably stole his food.
Yeah, he blames him for the experiment that scarred his face. Back in the day, it used to be a scar like Lily, just right here. Just one little scar. And Doom was so vain. I was like, I'm so ugly. I'm horrific. I put a mask on. And the mask was heated. So it just burned the rest of his face. Like an idiot.
So he himself up.
Yeah. But back in the day, it used to literally just be a tiny little scar. He's like, I'm so ugly.
He also probably didn't screw the top back on the milk.
Yeah. Or left his toothpaste or left the community toothpaste out because they're broke college kids. So it's all dried up. You know what I mean? It's not good. That's bad. Yeah. Come on, Reed.
Didn't make up his bed.
Didn't make up his bed.
Left his pasty socks around.
Doom brought a girl over and Reed's just there just eating chips aggressively and listening to really loud music,
They probably also had different music tastes.
Oh, they definitely have, Reed's probably into very probably 60s, 70s kind of like rock and roll music,
Yeah, he's probably I think Reed's probably like a southern rock kind of person.
Yeah, I could see Reed really loving Buddy Holly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Buddy Holly kind of, and then
Doom is all listen to Mozart constantly. Yeah, that's
classic,
his vibe.
Just.
But he's the kind of guy who's like Bach is so much better than Mozart. Yeah, Goldberg variations and such.
Yeah. So shitty roommates and stealing your girl. So they hate each other now.
And he wants to become Galactus to shove it down his throat.
Yep.
It's great.
So the original run of Fantastic Four ended with issue 416 in September of 1996.
Yep.
To which it was relaunched to volume 2 in November of 1996. And that's all we're going to say about that because the late 90s were the dark ages.
Well, that was the era. It's Heroes Reborn that was the reboot, right? So basically, they had a thing called Onslaught, which was like Professor X and Magneto minds merged and made a big old monster. And
Dark Phoenix, but Professor X.
And worse.
Yeah.
But also, they had all the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic, everybody fight this thing. And they, due to editorial reasons, killed 90% of them. But they were reborn in a little pocket universe that the Fantastic Four's kid, Franklin, he's about 5 at this time. This child created a pocket universe because he's mega powerful. made a universe, put all of them in there. And inside that universe, we got new stories called Heroes Reborn. And they all sucked. They're really bad.
They were terrible.
It's
The
got
only thing
famous
worse,
Rob Liefeld giant
big,
chest
big,
Captain America.
super chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing worse than Heroes Reborn was Marvel Extreme.
Ooh. Remember Marvel? Like with an eye? The parody one? It was not very good.
No.
But yeah, that run sucks. And hey, credit to Jim Lee. The art looks good. The suits look terrible though.
Yeah.
And the comic's terrible.
In the 2000s, in June of 2001, legacy numbering started.
Right back to it.
So
Yeah.
issue 42 was also issue 471. And
Yes.
whenever they got to issue 500, it went just back to issue 500 and kept counting.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Because everyone wanted to forget that Heroes Reborn happened because it sucks.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
And then in issue 587, Johnny Storm died.
No, not this one.
And it was a
That
tearjerker.
issue sucks.
That issue make you feel things.
This
Even
is
if
from
you don't like it, it's a very solid story.
It's an amazing story. The story was called 3, and it counted down 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And by that last 0 issue, you would find out which one would die. Also, the worst part about all this is the issue after it, silent issue. There's no dialogue in the entire thing, and it's just each member grieving in their own way, and it is horrible. Susan won't let anyone touch her. She's just got a force field around her, clutched up to her all the time. You see Reed take the ultimate nullifier and go to kill Annihilus, the man who killed Johnny, and he couldn't even bring himself to do it. The worst is you see the kids. They're teaching a class, and you see on the class who's going to replace him. She-Hulk, yada yada yada, and they all are crying. And Valeria just erases the board and writes at the front, "Kill Annihilus." It's it gets every emotion that you'd have: anger, sadness, despair. It's all of it wrapped into one. And it hurts. It hurts.
Who told you comics can't make you feel things? Because that
God.
makes you feel.
It does.
Also,
Also,
they stopped being called the Fantastic Four for that time
Yes.
period. They became the Future Foundation.
yes.
And
Expanding beyond the 4. They had everybody come in. Spider-Man was a member. Dragon Man was a member. Even Doctor Doom was a member. And it's got my favorite Doom, one of my favorite Doom lines ever. He gets set on fire by a bunch of Fantastic Four villains. And he gets up as he's on fire and yells, "You dare try to burn Doom? I have been burned before." And he says, "The world be damned, Doom endures." And he beats up a bunch of guys while he's on fire.
that's
Pretty
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
So Johnny dies in 587.
he does.
Issue number 600, though, because nobody stays dead.
Yep, that's when he came back.
Johnny comes back.
And he became roommates with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man wanted to kill him during that time.
So that pretty much brings you up to the major things.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, after all that happened, Hickman, after the Fantastic Four run, would later on write New Secret Wars, which would basically give a close to Fantastic Four lore in general. It would be maybe the biggest event comic Marvel's ever done.
Yes, because they took everything that people liked, smashed it all together, and only kept what people liked.
Yes, it was a crisis. It was a DC crisis.
It was a DC crisis,
but done Marvel style.
It was the end result was good.
Yes.
The execution was questionable.
False. I think it's the story itself, amazing, top notch. The reasons the story were made, it's not Hickman's fault. It's not the writer's fault. It's Marvel editorial.
Yeah,
they had done some questionable stuff that kind of needed to be fixed. So they were like, "Hey, you're our best writer right now. Fix it for us, please." And he did.
Yep. And there was a whole lot, and basically everybody got wrecked. Old Man Logan came into the
Logan came in. Miles Morales
came
in the
in.
Ultimate Universe.
So they killed. So we had one Marvel universe at that point.
Yeah.
Well, 2 technically, because the MCU still existed at that time.
True. Yeah. They're technically not in the comic multiverse though.
But they're not in the MCU.
We go on. I now, the whole
multiverse. Now the MCU is in the Marvel multiverse, but that's also a whole different thing.
What's the universe designate for MCU?
9999.
Is it really?
Yes.
Lazy.
MCU is
lazy.
999.
Lazy.
So
we got 616. 1080 is the ultimate.
But now the only ones that exist is 616
it is 616
and
9999. I think that's bullshit.
However,
I'm not sure
however, we might be seeing with Quantumania and all the stuff and with Kang and everything, we might be seeing either a relaunching of multiverses
that would be cool,
or a consolidation of of the universe.
Also, if anyone at Disney Plus is listening, fix your explanation of the multiverse, because so far as I can see, it's just different timelines, and you're like, that's a universe. That doesn't make any sense. That's another timeline. We've established this back in the day, in like the 70s. Anytime Kang's been around, we've talked about it, and it's never made sense. Help me not freak out. Tell me which one it is. Is it another timeline, or is it like an actual universe? Because they're different. That's different things. I don't understand. Because we had just tell me. Just tell me, please. If you could email me personally, I'd really appreciate it. Or just put out a thing. So I don't think it makes sense.
I will tell you this, Chandler, and anyone from Disney Plus who's listening, we're the only ones that care.
I very much care.
He very much cares.
I very much need to know.
The normal person who watches Marvel Entertainment, who is a MCU person, does not understand that there is a difference between a timeline and a multiverse. So I think they're just
I need to know.
I know you need to know, but I think that for the sake of not confusing the normies, it's the same thing.
So here's the thing. We're all normies when it comes down to it.
We're not.
We were at one point, but we read some dumb multiverse stuff and went, ooh, this is kind of cool.
We haven't been normies in decades.
Yeah.
So
that is correct. Also read Secret Wars. It's great. It's also like the biggest Marvel event ever that's so focused on the Fantastic Four and what they mean to people, and how the dynamic of Reed and Doom is ultimately the dynamic that makes the Marvel universe happen. Everything literally hinges on the two of them.
It always
fantastic. It always has. Yeah. It's great. It's also got Black Panther leading an army of zombies while he wields the Infinity Gauntlet to fight Doctor Doom, which is pretty rad. And it's even radder that he still loses because Doom was that good. Love it. Great book. Also, Doom pulls Thanos' spine out, seemingly for shits and gigs. Yeah, because he's got it like that.
So yeah. So now that we've gone over the comic history of Fantastic Four, other media.
Yes. Movies
and cartoons.
Oh, they had that one cartoon from the 90s. It had like what, 2 seasons?
There's been 4 Fantastic Four cartoons.
Okay, wait. I know there's the one that ties into like the other ones of the time, like the Spider-Man and the Hulks and stuff.
1967 through 68, we had the Hanna-Barbera 20-episode cartoon.
Oh, the one with Herbie.
No, not yet.
Really?
Then in 1978, we had a 13-episode one that had Herbie instead of Johnny because they were going to make a Johnny movie.
Yes.
So they couldn't use Johnny in the cartoon, so they made a new character called Herbie,
little robot,
who is a goofy robot.
Mm-hmm. He's still in the comics now.
He is.
Yeah, like Herbie.
Yep, Herbie's a goofy little bugger.
Yeah, he's kind of cute, honestly.
Then there was Fred and Barney Meet the Thing, which had a teenage Ben Grimm who used thing rings to power him up, and did not feature Fred and Barney from the Flintstones for some reason. It was weird. It wasn't good, and it didn't last very long. Then, whenever you were a toddler and I was a teenager, you had Fantastic Four in the Marvel Action Hour, which was 26 episodes of various different Marvel cartoons with different stories. There were X-Men stories, Captain America stories, Spider-Man stories, just kind of all over the place. That one was entertaining. I remember that very vividly. And actually, so I actually remember both of the Hanna-Barbera shows because those were all in syndication for Saturday morning cartoons whenever I was small.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of those, including Spidey and Friends was also in syndication at that time.
Spidey and Friends is great.
So, you would watch Spidey and Friends and then the Fantastic Four cartoons, and I even had the little Viewmasters, clickety click clicks.
Nice.
For those. That's how old I am. But I had the Fantastic Four ones, and I had some Spidey and Friends ones. So I would see them through my little clickety click click. I also had Sesame Street ones and He-Man ones.
Ooh,
I had
He-Man.
lots of
That's
them.
badass.
That was like my favorite toy whenever I was a kid. See, instead of whenever you'd be on long road trips with your family, because there was only one radio, you didn't get to pick the radio, the adults did. And if you're in the back seat with your parent or with your siblings, which I had two sisters, so I had to sit in the middle seat. Like basically you had to either read or figure out a way to entertain yourself, and everyone, like if the light wasn't good enough to read, then you would have the clicky thing, but you would use the flashing lights coming to like illuminate it. And I'm just going in a tangent of how like road trips in the 80s and 90s suck.
Yeah,
they were
it sounds like it. Yeah.
The equivalent of your iPad to watch cartoons on when you're bored was a Viewmaster, which literally it was a red thing you held up to your eyes, light came through, it illuminated a single panel of a cartoon, and would sometimes have little dialogue, and then you go click, and you would read the next line of dialogue, and you go click. It was like an interactive comic book. It was like turning the page to a comic book.
It's almost as bad as Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, well, you know what? It was
not as bad as Heroes Reborn,
but it's almost. Yeah. But that was like super prime entertainment whenever you were traveling in the 80s and early 90s. Anyway,
that's terrible.
It is terrible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, so
you also had
cartoons. So then you had the 94 through 96 Marvel Action.
That's the one that was tied into like the rest of the cartoons at the time.
Yeah. Spider-Man, the X-Men, all of that was in this kind of semi-shared but not shared universe.
It's
they cross over but wouldn't cross over.
Yeah. This is not the one where Johnny does a rap, right?
It was 1994 through 1996. So if Johnny did do a rap, I would be impressed, because everyone.
No, because this one was good.
Everyone in the mid 90s did a rap.
I'm pretty sure that this early 2000s one was, because they were definitely past their time to do it, and it was super. It was it was the worst.
This is the only one that I actually didn't watch, and it was the September of 2006. You got 26 episodes on Cartoon Network of Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes. That's the only one I didn't watch.
Not great. Johnny does a rap.
Yep, I didn't watch. I didn't even watch it with my kids because that was prime age for them watching that stuff.
Yeah.
We instead watched the Green Lantern TV show.
Nice.
Because at the time I was like, Fantastic Four kind of sucks. They're entertaining, but yeah, whatever.
Their movies were fucking too at the time, so you know.
I will get into that in just a second. So
yeah, they're fun, but they're bad.
So cartoons, they were, for the most part, watchable.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Not bad.
Except for Teen Ben Grimm was dumb,
terrible. 2000s one, if you can get past the rap, it's actually not bad. The one from the 90s is pretty good.
Yeah, the one from the 90s is really solid. And the ones from the 70s is really good too, or the 60s rather. That one's the best. The one from the 70s is really solid.
That's because they were just doing the
actual. It was just comic shot. It was just comic stories that
they did the same with the Spider-Man one. Yeah. You know? Like that was literally just issue for issue.
Yep.
So yeah.
So it was fun stuff. Films though. So in 1994, Roger Corman made a shit fest of a movie
to keep the rights.
To keep the rights. And you've all heard the urban legends of this movie. It's real. It exists.
You can watch it. You can find. There's actually some of that stuff's really good actually. Like that, the movie's not good, but man, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty dead on. Like, have you seen the Doom outfit?
Mm-hmm.
It's dead on. It's the same outfit.
It looks really like a low budget cartoon movie. So it's garbage.
It's garbage, but it's great garbage.
But
it's good garbage.
It's go find it and watch it, because if nothing else, make a drinking game out of it.
There's a bit where Doom announces his master plan while he's got the Fantastic Four trapped. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna rule the world and stuff." And you literally see him just stop, and he just walks out the back door real quick. They didn't have the budget to make him have a cool exit. Yeah, it's terrible. It's great.
So, it's so you can probably find it on the YouTubes or various different places broken up. It's not a hard thing to find the bootleg of.
Probably the most expensive movie that was never released.
Yeah,
It cost like a few million.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they spent money on
They
it,
actually
and then
spent
they
money.
realized this movie's really bad, so we're not going to pay the money to distribute it.
Nope.
And
Yeah.
to give you an idea of how bad it is, if you've ever seen the 1989 Captain America movie,
Oh, it's worse than that one.
they spent the money to distribute that piece of garbage.
Yeah, it is worse. But
Um,
it's kind of awesome.
Everything that's like things that are really bad are sometimes pretty awesome.
Especially when it's like it's accurate. It's actually pretty accurate.
It's accurate,
Yeah,
and it's just done with a
bizarre.
weird budget, and like
They
there's
had a
some things that
CGI Human Torch that like it's just the worst.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
So in 2005,
we got the first proper studio made. Well, I mean, I guess the first one studio made, but like studio
yeah,
bunch of money
rolling off of the freaking
back big stars.
Except for Mr. Fantastic was little known at the time.
He's like a British actor.
Yeah, he's big over there.
Yeah. Like Christopher Waltz wasn't big here.
The weird choice of Jessica Alba as Sue Storm.
Bit of a weird choice.
She did a fine job, but it was weird.
They wanted her for one reason and one reason alone.
Because she was super popular and super pretty.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes. They wanted to show her in her underwear as much as possible. And they did.
Yep.
It's kind of weird.
Chris Evans, they also showed him in his underwear a lot.
They did. But he was okay with it.
Yeah. Because
he's still okay with it.
Yeah. Chris Evans is awesome.
Yeah. Also, we should say about like, so half the main four, half are great, half are fine. The fine ones are Ian and Jessica. The great ones are Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis. Yeah, that's right.
The commish himself.
Fantastic.
So you got to realize, whenever this movie came out, the last thing that the only things that he was known for was the commish and the shield. And then he's Ben Grimm, which was awesome because he was such a big fan, and he
was actually a huge fan.
As an actor, actually insisted on being a rubber suit and not a CGI monster.
Yeah, he wanted to look as good as possible. Apparently, that suit was like he was sweating constantly.
Oh yeah, no, he
didn't complain. He loves the Fantastic Four. And
yeah,
he
did an excellent job for what other.
He's amazing.
I mean, outside of his really wacky mouth in it. It was a really good looking suit.
Oh, it's a great looking suit. And he does Yeah.
It looked weird, but other than that, it was really good.
His writing is definitely a little cheesy too. Like I'm a monster and but he like carries it really well. Like he does a great job, especially for being under a suit. Like you could still like actually get a sense of his emotions in that. It's great stuff.
Now I will say this about the 2005 movie. While they did take some liberties, it did feel like classic Fantastic Four.
It does feel like a Stan Jack comic, that's for sure.
For better or worse. I give it the same argument that I give Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It is a comic book, and it is a classic comic book.
Yes.
It is trying to channel that goofy time period where comics were for every kid, and it was just goofy fun.
Yeah.
Which the first one was just goofy fun, and it was really enjoyable. If you sit back,
not a bad movie.
If you're trying to compare it to modern, like gut-wrenching comic, no, it's not.
Trash,
but if you're just like,
that bad.
Did you smile when you watched it?
Yeah.
And did it capture the essence of the characters? It did. It was a little shitty with Doom.
There was mega shit. That's honestly the main reason I don't like it.
Doom was not well executed.
He's not a king. He's not even magic. He doesn't even have an Iron Man suit. He's a dude who's you peel the skin off and there's metal underneath it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And he lightning bolts people in a parking garage.
So
it's terrible.
So they screwed it up with Doom, but the actual Fantastic Four unit is actually really solid, well done.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shenanigans they do are straight out of the comics, and a lot of the shenanigans they do that aren't straight out of the comics are very representative of the characters.
The Ben and Johnny dynamic is always been a big thing in the comics. They're like best friends who will never tell each other they're best friends. They nailed it in this too. Johnny's humor is actually pretty well done.
Yeah,
I love that bit where he's like, "I'm not afraid to cry either." It's fantastic.
It's really, I think that movie gets shit on more than it should.
Yeah, I mean that is fair. That is it's still
now,
a decent time.
2007, Don Payne, and I won't talk too much shit about Don Payne because he did pass away, so we don't really necessarily want to speak ill of the dead. But Don Payne has written some of the shittiest movies ever made.
Yeah.
This one not excluding.
Yeah.
Rise of Silver Surfer was a bastardization of the Silver Surfer and Galactus
Yeah.
story.
The Coming of Galactus, one of the most important comics of all time.
They fucked it up.
They did.
There's no
Weirdly enough, though, the Silver Surfer is pretty well represented.
It is.
He's actually Lawrence Fishburne did the voice.
Yeah.
Doug Jones is the man in the suit because he's always a man in a suit. You remember when he kind of like just moves through the building and kind of has that little oh, that looks good. That's
like
good
that,
stuff.
it did have some good moments, but
Did
in
have some good
general,
moments.
it was a shit film that ruined several characters and was so poorly received because it was a shit
It's
film
not very good.
that it killed the franchise and killed almost killed well, I mean, it did pretty much kill Lionsgate because I'm pretty sure it was a Lionsgate movie.
Yes, it was.
And
they kind of hung on for a while.
It killed Lionsgate's Marvel universe. So
yeah.
Yeah,
The worst is you remember that whole Reed Richards is like, I'm smarter than you, and I'm married to the hottest girl on the planet, and you're just a jealous bitch. That's not how Reed Richards talks. He talks like he's smarter than you, but he's trying to not be condescending, but he is anyway.
So,
like John Krasinski in that
now,
movie.
I will watch Don Payne's shit-tastic Rise of the Silver Surfer on repeat before I will ever.
Oh yeah, this one.
2015's Fant Four Stick.
Did you ever actually see it?
I didn't complete watch.
You didn't complete watch it? I did because I love Fantastic Four.
I couldn't. It's so bad.
Everybody watch it. You got to know. You just got to know what is in this movie. It starts off actually kind of interesting. It's like kind of like a darker, like kind of almost like body horror kind of take on Fantastic Four, and then you can see the point where the studio stepped in and went, "That's bad, and we're gonna change every bit of it, and we're gonna try to go back to being a bright, colorful, fun superhero movie." Where the Ben Grimm literally kills 45 people in that movie. It's not even like you can see it. It says on a board, confirmed kills 45. Ben Grimm does not murder people, guys. He also wears pants, which he does not wear pants in that entire film. That's not cool. Wear some pants.
I'm pretty certain that if you find yourself in whatever hell you believe in, that this movie is playing on repeat.
Maybe. Doom is somehow worse than this movie.
It's somehow worse. I cannot think of a movie that. Okay, that's not true. I can think of one movie that is worse.
The Vampire.
No, that's not even worse.
It's not. It's kind of better than this, honestly.
Yes. No, the only one is I Know Who Killed Me.
Oh,
that is Lindsay. Yes, that is the worst film ever made.
That's the one.
With way too many close-ups on hairless cat balls.
Yes. This movie is legit worse than the one they didn't release in the 90s.
It really is
actually worse, and they did release this, and it was shot like
so bad.
I want to say they said there was 5 total action scenes, and they cut 3 of them right before they started filming. That's nuts. That's terrible. Also, like the thing that was going to get you in there was a big black goo that just ran over the world. That's not great either.
Let's just say that Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds should win.
Well, that's a better movie.
Should win an Oscar before this movie should be watched.
You know the craziest thing? So, like in this one, their version of the origin is instead of like flying off to space and we get hit by radiation or whatever, we're going to go into the negative zone. We get hit by radiation there. Guess who goes on that trip?
Who goes on that trip?
Do you think it's Fantastic Four?
In theory, it should be.
Well, because it's actually Dr. Doom, Reed, Ben, and Johnny. Sue don't even go.
So how's Sue get powers?
When they come back, a little wave of energy just kind of knocks her out of her chair, and so she gets powers too.
I was thinking that since they were hooking up, it would be like a
like that,
like an STD or something.
No, James Cameron actually tried to do that though with Spider-Man back in the 90s. He wanted to, spider infection through sperm to Mary Jane. James Cameron, don't ever make a superhero movie ever.
James Cameron, stop making Avatar movies.
Stop making Avatar movies. Why? There's so like billions of dollars being put into Avatar right now, and honestly, most people are just like, it looks cool. They don't care about the rest of it.
The movie is terrible.
They're not very good.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty. But there's also blue people who have sex with each other through their hair. It's like that. You know what I mean?
It's like it was.
Like we kind of mixed it all in.
No. Now, if we were blue people, we just had sex.
Yeah, we just had sex, and we bonded for life under a tree.
Under a tree. Yep. No.
Yeah. Movies. bizarre, man.
So weird.
It's super weird.
Touched
But yeah.
beards with Chandler.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Nobody's watching.
Nothing weird about us.
No.
Yeah.
One person's watching. It's probably Jess.
Hey, Jess.
So that pretty much wraps up Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
well, I mean,
Yeah.
You got no other notes? Oh, we end on that?
We end
Come
on
on, we
this
can't end on that. Okay, so recently, spoilers for the new Doctor Strange movie. There is a cameo appearance by John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. And he did good. The suit looks good. He did good as Reed Richards. He was condescending, but he was trying not to be condescending, but he's still talking to you like you're an 8-year-old kid. It was great. He got turned into rubber. He mentions that his kids are out there, which honestly, as soon as he got killed, I was like, I'm not worried about it because he's got a kid who can make universes. He'll literally go, I want daddy back. Boom, he's back. Not a problem, honestly. Yeah. He did a good job though.
He did do a good job.
He did a really good job.
He did.
Also, we kind of breezed over a lot of the comics. If you want to read good Fantastic Four comics, the Stan and Jack run from the 60s is actually like kind of the best comic you could read from the 60s. It's pretty good. The John Byrne run did a lot of new experimental stuff. She-Hulk, got introduced too. Great stuff. In 2005 or 6-ish, Mark Waid, the writer of Kingdom Come, and Mike Wieringo, who unfortunately passed away not long after that, wrote and drew this Fantastic Four run together that literally features them meeting God. And guess who God in the Marvel Universe is?
I don't know.
It's Jack Kirby. It's
Makes
Jack
sense.
Kirby in his office drawing and smoking a cigar.
That makes sense because whenever that was written, Stan was still alive. So
Yep. Yeah.
but Jack was not.
Exactly. Yeah. The one above all?
Yeah.
It's Jack Kirby. Yeah. It's a really, really good run. It also features the death of Ben Grimm, which
Nobody
hurt.
said he's dead, but it did hurt.
Well, they went to heaven to go get him, and that's where they met God. But the Thing's last words on this planet were literally, as he died, "What a revolt in development." And I think that's fantastic. I think it's awesome. It's a really good run. Not long after, Jonathan Hickman took it up. The whole Fantastic Four, Johnny dies, Future Foundation, yada yada, leading up to Secret Wars. It's great stuff. Read all those and more. But don't read the 90s ones.
So basically, read everything except whatever happened between 1992 and 2005.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Good stuff.
that's our Fantastic Four story. But I promised to
They're
tell
great.
y'all what our Black Friday deals were if you hung out. So I will do that now. So if you like your TCGs, all sealed TCG products will be 10% off for everyone starting Friday at noon. If you like your TCGs, but you don't like gambling to see what you got, you like your
Fair.
singles, all singles, 25% off.
That's pretty good. That's not bad at all.
But the deals don't stop there. Like we said earlier, all statues are 25% off,
Mhm.
or buy two, get one free. And everything else in the store, everything,
Literally everything.
literally everything. If it's not a TCG, buy two, get one free.
Yeah. Buy your
Um,
comics, buy two, get one free.
Even if you buy your stuff out of your pull box that you haven't picked up in months, buy two, get one free.
Yeah.
Back issues, buy two, get one free.
Mm-hmm.
Toys, buy two, get one free.
Yeah.
There is an exception. Legos, if you cannot get Legos free because of an agreement we have with our distributor. However, if you buy two Legos, you can get something else free.
It's not bad.
Because the buy two, get one free also stacks. Or it doesn't, well, okay, it doesn't stack. It is
You get
interchangeable.
multiple instances. Yeah.
Yes, it's interchangeable. So if you want two Legos and
And a copy of Mr. Miracle.
copy of Mr. Miracle,
Boom.
Mr. Miracle,
problem.
Mr. Miracle's free.
Yeah. You
Um,
get Human Target, Fantastic Four. Get a copy of Kingdom Come.
There you
Free.
Free.
Rider, a Fantastic Four. Get an Omega Man. Get a Green Lantern. Get a copy of Grayson for free. Super Spy Grayson.
You
We
get
didn't cover that in the show last week. That's a good book.
Yeah.
We got the Super Spy Grayson.
ooh,
It's James Bond Robin. James Bond Nightwing.
you get
Awesome.
you get an action fit. You get a Batman action figure, and you get a trade paperback.
Yeah.
You can get a comic for free.
You get a Fantastic Four for free.
The cheapest thing is going to be free.
If you buy Human Target and Mr. Miracle, I'll go home with you for free.
But
Straight up.
only after he's done with his shift because it is Black Friday and it's all hands on deck.
My shift ends when I say it does.
I wouldn't
But-
tell that to your boss.
No.
Even after we bonded through beard.
Technically, I can use this as dirt later. So I think
I mean, it's on the internet, so
it is on the internet as proof that I'm out there.
fair.
Anyway,
Anyway,
buy
Yeah.
some Fantastic Four comics. Buy 2 get 1 free on this
Black
Black Friday weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
So that's the deals. Is you get sealed TCGs 10% off,
Mhm.
TCG singles 25% off, and everything else in the store buy 2 get 1 free.
Including the most important thing, which is
Comics.
Yes.
So with all of that said, tomorrow we will the Charles and Emery show.
The sidekick to this show.
Yes, my other sidekick.
The sidekick show to the main event.
So
You can tell
it will
us
be
that.
our well, I will say this though, we've been doing this for a little over a month, and she's getting the holiday special.
That's messed up. But at the same time, there's no real Thanksgiving comics. When it comes to Christmas, I'll do some Christmas comics. There's some really
there
good
are some
Christmas
good
comics.
comics, but we'll
Yeah.
probably also do a Christmas special too.
True.
But so tomorrow, me and Emery will be doing our Thanksgiving Day special, to which we will be watching Thanksgiving, and we will be making it an adult beverage game as well. We will be doing a reaction video, so we will have the camera queued up on us while we are watching the movie, and every time something comes up that we need to drink, we'll drink. It's going to be fun. It's going to be hilarious. We're going to cut up and laugh and make fun of this horrible, horrible movie. If you haven't watched Thanksgiving, it's hilariously bad. It's about a zombie turkey that comes back to kill all the colonizers.
That's kind of genius.
It really is.
There's a book about a guy who time traveled, like a Native American dude who time travels, go back in time and murder Christopher Columbus and all the colonizers. It looks great. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
good.
So we will have a good old fun time doing that. It'll be about the same time we normally do the Tuesday night show. We will be watching it on Vudu. So Vudu is a free app. No, I am not being paid or advertised by Vudu, but
here we are promoting them anyway.
But here we are promoting them.
Yeah.
Vudu is a free app on any smart device that you have, and most smart televisions, and your Roku stick, and your Amazon Fire Stick, and all that jazz.
Voodoo is not
Voodoo.
poo-poo. That's
Voodoo is
the
not
tag
poo-poo.
on it. Yeah.
Download that. Now it is free with commercials. So in traditional Charles fashion, I will have the magic clipboard and the commercials. I will be giving you stupid Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving facts because why not?
Oh, why not? Give
Also,
more Fantastic Four facts. It's fun.
I mean, I will try to find a Thanksgiving Fantastic Four fact, or we could just give thanks for Fantastic Four.
The dinners are always awkward because Reed is not there. He's in the lab. That's certainly true. It's gotta be true.
Yeah, it's gotta be true. So yeah. So join me and Emery tomorrow night for Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving special here at Geek Out. We will be having a good old fun time, and hopefully it'll be some humor, and we won't just be sitting there watching the movie by ourselves. Y'all will join us.
Yeah. Actually, I got some. I was gonna mention this earlier.
Okay.
There is a really great YouTube video. It's like an hour and a half long, so it's quite long. But it is called "We Are the Fantastic Four," and it is one dude with a bunch of voice actors who literally just go through the entire history, like not the behind the scenes history, the actual canon history from 1961 until the end of Secret Wars 2015. And he goes over every single bit, every continuity change, and every new iteration, new costumes, from bad to good, everything. So we obviously have to gloss over a lot of stuff because we got movies, TV, comics, everything to talk about. But if you want to know every little thing that ever happened in the Fantastic Four comics, that's a great video to watch. The guy did a really good job, and it really reflects the reason why people care about Fantastic Four.
So pop quiz, what is the best Fantastic Four costume that has ever been on any character?
Dr. Doom in any costume ever, except for the movie ones.
Bagman.
Oh, Bombastic Bagman?
Bombastic Bagman.
That stuff's good. I thought you were going to talk about the Sue where she's got the 4 cut into her boobs.
That was the late 90s trash.
It was the worst. It was terrible. I love Bombastic Bagman though.
Bombastic Bagman, in case you're unaware.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
got a bag on his head.
got a bag on his head, wearing a
Fantastic
Fantastic Four, because he basically ran into Johnny and he didn't have his clothes, and Johnny gave him a suit.
It's the Secret Wars. That's what it's, they took the symbiote off him. He's like, I gotta go home and something. And Johnny was like, yeah, I got you, buddy. And he put a bag on his head because he's a bad friend.
But yeah, that's all the Black Friday deals.
Fantastic Four is great.
Fantastic Four is great.
Mm-hmm. Read
Prepping for tomorrow. I think we've rambled enough. Yeah, that's
read the Jonathan Hickman run. Read the Mark Waid, Mike Wieringo run. Those are probably the best that they've ever been.
Honestly, you can't really go wrong with anything Hickman. So
now Hickman's just kind of killing it all the time.
Yeah, his Avengers run was really good too.
It was really good. Yeah. If it also his Fantastic Four run features Franklin Richards having Galactus as his herald. Like Galactus has had many heralds over the years. Franklin has had one, and it's Galactus. It's pretty baller.
That is pretty baller.
It's a
When
really
the
good
dude
comic.
who needs a herald is your herald.
Yeah. He literally yelled, "To me, my Galactus," and commanded it. It's awesome. So yeah, that's just a little sprinkling, a little taste. It's good stuff in
But
there.
did Galactus shrink down and sit in his hand? Like,
No, it was the adult version of Franklin Richards, but it was just like this tall a guy next to Galactus, but he's commanding Galactus.
that's pretty cool.
It was so cool. It's awesome.
Anyway, that's our show.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great day. Go read some comics.
Read some Fantastic Four.
Come watch Thanksgiving with us tomorrow.
Yeah, then read Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come see us on Friday for Black Friday
Yes, please do.
or Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday. Also, Santa will be here for Black Friday.
Really?
Santa will be here for Black Friday. Yes.
I'm not dressing up as an elf. I'm not doing that.
I mean,
I'll dress up as Rudolph.
You can totally dress up as Rudolph.
I'll do Rudolph.
Do Rudolph.
Just sad deer. Charlie Browning it the whole time.
Bro, it's post the song, Rudolph.
Post the song?
Post the song.
It's
So,
not
like,
as interesting.
now you are like number one.
Yeah. now I'm the best.
Now we love you.
Yeah. Now we love you instead of throwing rocks and sticks at you.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
We just abused you until you were of value, and now that you're of value, we love you.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Welcome to America.
That's what comics did to me.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s, man.
I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and honestly, like,
It does feel like they were hitting you with a stick a lot of the time.
feels like.
Yeah, they pretty much were.
Yeah. No,
If they could tape a copy of like Captain America from Heroes Reborn #1 and just beat you with it, they probably would. If it meant money came out of you.
Well, no, they just ripped up your comics and then just hit you with a stick anyway.
That's so much worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our show.
Yep.
It's a good show. Lapel mics worked out. Wait,
Lapel mic,
this side.
Boop. So hopefully that worked well. Hopefully the audio was much better this time.
Yeah.
Please tell us if
If-
the audio was better.
If it's worse, we'll just straight up clip them into the beards, and we'll
Yep.
see how that goes next time. Yeah, we can do this. No problem.
Let's see.
Right there.
There we go. Is
Yeah,
that better?
works. This has got to be way better.
It's got to be so much better.
It's got to be so much better. Yeah.
Is the lapel mic in the beard better? For probably the one person watching, which is probably still Jess.
That's better. I look like an Egyptian pharaoh.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
That's us.
Good night.
Good night. Take care. Read Mr. Miracle.